What's up, everyone? I wanted to talk about how to find local cargo van work, how my journey went doing so. Now, as you guys know, I was doing over the road for about 8, 9 months, whatever it was, if you've been following me that long or whatever. So, finally, I'm like, you know what, with how the rates were going and what was going on with everything, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to look for local work. I'm going to take a week, 2 weeks off. I'm gonna dive into this. I had downloaded those apps, a lot of those, and I know people who are making $1,200 net profit a week on mainly GoShare, Shipley, things like that. And I have videos on that. So if you guys comment below, I can send links on all this stuff. But actually GoShare, I have a couple people that are doing great out in California with that, and that's, if I believe right, where it was based out originally. So maybe that's why. But a lot of this always is determined by you need to be by a city, no matter where you're at. But let me tell you how my journey went looking for local work. So I filled out things for, okay, let me slow down, because you guys know how I am. First, I'm looking around, seeing what business relationships I can form, handing out some business cards, calling around, going, doing these things. Going in to have business relationship talks. My wife is putting the littlest baby to bed. She needed me to go in there and turn on the fan so it can help the baby go to sleep. Anyway, so going in, trying to form business relationships. Now, when I went to talk to these people, I did not look at it as like them, like a partnership vibe. And like I was listening to anything that was being said, making sure everything was more of a partnership, equal. But then also I wanted to talk about, I had a really good hit on with a lead on a lot of this stuff too. You can find an owner operator Indeed, owner operator Glassdoor, I think that's what it's called. And one on Glassdoor I found was medical courier, because I started looking into that, and it was paid total miles. You would go out one way, come all the way home. It was 4 days a week. But then they started getting a little like, well, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, you could pick up more. But that one I almost filled out their entire thing for the partnership. But here's where I didn't like it. Because then as I was filling it out, I just thought, I'm like, I don't want a commitment, because that's what it is. Like, I want my freedom. Looking at all these other dispatching type service companies in Minnesota, and I'm sure it's like that in other cities, you know what I mean? And all of them were saying the same thing about freedom, and you do what you want. It's all up to you. You go home when you want. You just come in, turn on the app. Like, a lot of them were like that, which I was pleasantly surprised. And then I found one that I was like, okay, this one sounds legit. I like the way they were, saying it. They were even saying like, this ain't even going to be like, because some people can get really like, okay, well, obligation vibed or something. But they even said, like, if you're not going to be around or logging into the board, or not the board, logging into the app to accept loads, you accept them or deny them, same thing. There's going to be you just literally can send an email. You don't even like, just so they're aware, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. They said, do not even explain what you're doing, because you are your own LLC, you're your own business. You are not, and that's why I like Tipix Logistics. Like, it was that same, percentages, this cut and dry, this is what we do. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, because I was a little surprised with, diving into the local work stuff, how difficult it was to just like be like, dude, I have a van, what's up? You know what I mean? But then when you start getting leads, and then things started cooking. I had 2 of them that said, oh, your felonies. They're like 10 to 12 years old. I was so shocked. I'm like, I've gotten, jobs, like CDL jobs and treatment center jobs. I'm like, how are you caring? This is a business partnership. And what was funny is when they said, oh, sorry, this wouldn't work, one of them, I said, you don't need to apologize to me. I feel sorry for you, because I'm a hustler. That's exactly how I said it. I said, I'm cool with it. I mean, and then another one, I said that same line to. I said, well, no, I'm sorry for you guys. I'm a hustler, and I'm whatever. And then they called me back the next day and were like, oh, we're talking to our team. We're going to have a sit down and see if we can make this work. And I said, hey, honestly, it's all good. Like this, I'm not like a charity case. I have my LLC. I have an EIN number. I have a business. Like, if you don't want a partner, I don't care. That's why it's not about ego. It's just I wanted to let them know, like, dude, this ain't like, please, please, please. And it's not a situation like that at all. It's like, let's do business. But it's been definitely an interesting journey. But that's the thing, too, is why I always say be open-minded and look into things, because it was like, and two, not to give up, because I was looking for 2 weeks. Extremely, business cards, this, that, calling, going to auto places, they're like, oh, call our factory in Minneapolis, whatever the case, like, I'm just giving examples, like, it's a thing. But then when you keep getting leads and things started cooking, at that point, I was sort of deciding between the medical carrier. I X that out, though, like, once I was, like, looking more into it, I'm like, no. I'm not trying to have a commitment. That's the opposite of my freedom. That's why this situation is amazing. They say, yeah, just put the app on whenever you want. Some people put it on at 10. Some people run 10 to 7 p.m. Some people run, noon to whatever. Some people run 6. Like, I think 5:30 was the first time the dispatcher gets in. And guess what time I got on the app? 5:30. And I was on 3-4 runs by the time it hit. When most drivers come in, they said, or not come in, that log into the app, they said that's sort of the issue, is like a lot, but not an issue. They said it's everyone's, everyone else has their LLC. There's no, but here's the thing. When they're not logging into the app till 7:30, accepting and denying loads and picking, and I'm on run 3 or 4, So the dispatchers were asking questions, like, interested on, like, how long you've been doing this and stuff. And I hope that, in the end, it's really good, too, to build that relationship. Like, my dispatcher at Hippix Logistics loved him. But they totally understood, too, when I made this business decision, because I'm regional, so it wasn't working as much. But if you're willing to go all around, it's amazing. I thought it was fun. But I'm not going to get too sidetracked on that. But that was sort of my journey on, I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything, on finding local work and not giving up, though. Because I was just like, I was sitting here like, dude. Because then, too, when that one was pretty suitable, it was crazy. They were like, oh, you're felonies. I'm like, they're old. Oh, and two, the insurance is lower, all these things. Like, there's just a lot about it I love. So, but we'll see how it goes. I did 3, I've logged into that app 3 days, and all those days were amazing. So we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, and I was just sort of doing it like I'm staying logged in until, because I don't want to deadhead any, back to the city if but I stayed in the secular area, like 20 minutes from my house, 30 minutes from my house once I went out is what I'm saying. So that wasn't bad either. But I'm sort of playing that game where it's just, if I don't got a deadhead, I'll keep taking runs. But every time it's been about 3-4 o'clock that it slows down, and then I just say, hey, I'm done for the day. And they honor it 10-4. Okay, have a good day. But that was my journey, and it was hectic. But now I am grateful, and I'm happy, and it seems like a good fit, for the freedom. That's why too, I just, anything tries to touch my freedom, I'm gone. Like, there ain't going to be no, like, oh, okay. Like, no. That's why, like, but it was stressful looking for local work. But that's why, like, as you say, you got to be vigilant. But, like, that's probably it for this one. I hope I didn't forget anything. But like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just glad you're rocking with me, and I hope you got something from this. But people comment. Start commenting. Let's start talking about local work or anything. Over the road, too. I loved that, too. So it's not like I didn't. But just start commenting on, like, helping each other. I talk to like hundreds of people all the time, and new people all the time. Probably have talked to thousands of people that I'm helping, which is fine, but I just feel like it'd be cool if like people would conversate about like what they do or how they do it. That's why I did this. We're all in this together. So let's all help each other. Everyone have a blessed day, and oh yeah, keep hustling.